Here we go.
Welcome to my WWE 2020 Royal Rumble predictions, and I decided to. I usually just wait now for the event to start, and then I do a reactions after the event. But this event, the Royal Rumble being one of the biggest in WWE, if you guys still watch the show, I decided to make like a predictions video to share not only my Royal Rumble picks, my personal Royal Rumble picks for who I think is probably gonna win, and maybe carve their path to WrestleMania and probably get that championship opportunity in the spotlight. It's the one opportunity where, or they say once in a lifetime, it's that one chance that you can get just some of that one underrated superstar, or maybe that superstar that doesn't get much time on a TV show or TV time compared to the main eventers and the most people, or the superstars like AJ Styles, Seth Rollins that we see every week, and Roman Reigns, and those other superstars that we don't really hardly get to see gets a chance in this Royal Rumble of 30 men. And also it's a little bit different now because we have the women's division has their own Royal Rumble match, so I'm going to talk about that as well in this video. But I think now is the time to really probably just figure out who do you think is going to win, who's going to get that shot at the title, to see maybe they might end up winning. Maybe we'll get to see some superstars that we haven't seen in a long time, like John Morrison, for example, which was already spoiled by the WWE. I think they really spoiled his surprise return. He could have made his entrance, his surprise return during the Rumble, and I think he's obviously going to be in the Royal Rumble. But he was one of my favorites in the show back then during the Attitude Era, and when things were still a lot different than what it is right now for the show's current standing, I like to say. But in this video, I'm just going to go through match by match, and then I'm going to share my Royal Rumble picks going towards the end of this video. And it's a lot of for this one. What I like is that what I'm excited for is that it's unpredictable. It's not. It's a complete toss-up. A toss-up where we don't know who's probably going to be the definitive winner. Anybody can win. And now we already have Brock Lesnar coming in at number 1. But I'm going to get to that as later on the video, since he volunteered for that. But I think this first match I'm going to go through here is going to be probably the kickoff show, because they do this title like this, the Intercontinental Championship, with Shinsuke Nakamura taking on Braun Strowman. And to me, just going through these matches, I don't see many title changes right now until WrestleMania comes. But for this, I think Braun Strowman obviously has a chance to win this match against Shinsuke Nakamura, because he hasn't really had a title match ever since he's been constantly losing against Brock Lesnar, which is pretty funny. But it's like they just didn't want him to win that championship, which I would rather honestly have Braun Strowman be a champion. But I'm going to pick Braun Strowman to take the Intercontinental title, and the only way that I see Shinsuke winning this match is if Sami Zayn gets involved to distract Braun Strowman, or maybe he'll purposely get himself disqualified and maybe get involved in the match just to protect Nakamura's title. And what I haven't been liking is that, I always say this before in these type of videos, Shinsuke doesn't really get much matches, and then when he held this title a while ago, he hasn't really had any championship, anyone contending and challenging for the Intercontinental Championship. I just don't like how they were doing this prestigious title. It's a championship, and it should be defended against a worthy contender, and just be defended on these events that they held that they have going on. But it's just like they barely even had him just really defend this title. But I'm still gonna go with Braun Strowman to win this match. But I just wanted to start with that just as a little intro. So that's just going to probably be the kickoff show. I don't know any other matches that's probably going to be slipped into this match card. If it changes, I'll talk about it on Sunday and see what happens with the Royal Rumble going forward. But our next match, we have Sheamus taking on Shorty G, or Chad Gable, which is originally his name. And I'm going to pick Sheamus because he just came back. I don't see Chad Gable beating a returning Sheamus. Sheamus just got back. Why would they have him lose? You know, it's crazy. But that's going to be my pick for this match. The next match, we have the United States Championship. This was recently added. I didn't even see them announce this. United States Championship, Andrade defending against a returning Humberto Carrillo. So that's going to be cool to really see. I'm going to pick Humberto Carrillo because he has yet to beat him Humberto already has beaten him a few times already, and now that we had that crazy ladder match from this past Monday Night Raw against Rey Mysterio, I think he's bound to probably end up losing this championship unless Selena Vega gets involved in the match. We'll have to see what happens during the event. But I'm gonna go with Humberto to take home the United States Championship. I'm really tired of seeing this already. I don't know about anybody else that watched this show. Roman Reigns versus King Corbin. The Roman Reigns and Baron Corbin rivalry needs to die now. I'm just ready for somebody new for him to take on. King Corbin's pretty good. He's a good heel, but I'm ready for some new challenges to come Roman Reigns' way. Maybe they'll probably just eventually put him in a title match against the Fiend. So this Roman Reigns and King Corbin match is a Falls Count Anywhere match. I see Roman Reigns coming out on top for this stipulation, and if anything, we already know King Corbin's minions is going to get involved. Dolph Ziggler is going to be out there, and Bobby Roode, who just came back from last Friday night's last week's SmackDown, is going to be in the match probably to get involved to distract Roman Reigns, and then the Usos are probably going to be out there and find their way out there to try to come to the aid of Roman Reigns during this match. But I still see Roman Reigns still winning this, unless somebody else gets involved out of nowhere. Don't forget about the Revival. So they might be out. It might be a chance they might take out the Usos, and King Corbin might get the advantage here. I'm going to go with Roman Reigns for this match. For my pick. The SmackDown Women's Champion, Bayley taking on Lacey Evans. I don't have a problem personally to see Lacey Evans take over and possibly win the championship, because she hasn't been a champion ever since she came into the WWE and came over from to the main roster. So I'm cool with Lacey Evans. I'm gonna pick her. I'm gonna pick her to probably get the win over Bayley if. Same situation if Sasha Banks doesn't get involved to help her best friend. The Raw Women's Champion, Becky Lynch, defending her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka, who has already won half of the tag team match, one half of the women's tag team champions. Almost messed up. But as much as I would like to see Asuka win this, I don't think she's going to win at all. I think this is going to be a really good match. Kairi Sane is going to get involved. Her tag team partner is going to find her way involved in the match somehow. But I would be very surprised to see Asuka win this, and maybe she'll be Asuka 2 belts. But they just keep on talking about Becky Lynch's her contract standings and stuff like that, and her decisions. So I don't see her going anywhere. But I think she's probably going to win this match. But if anything, remember last year's Royal Rumble, she lost her title. She lost her championship against Asuka, I think it was, and she ended up being a surprise entrant in the Women's Royal Rumble to win and beat Charlotte. So I'm gonna pick Becky Lynch to retain her Raw Women's Championship. I think Ronda Rousey is probably gonna come back. What is she gonna come back? Maybe she'll be in the Royal Rumble. You'll have to see. But on to the next match. The Universal Championship being defended from The Fiend. I love this. This is the best gimmick going on in the show, I think. And out of all the gimmicks they ever did, this is really good. I just hope they don't destroy him. They don't ruin The Fiend. Bray Wyatt taking on Daniel Bryan in a strap match. This is the match I'm looking forward to the most outside of the Royal Rumble matches. I think this is going to be really a good one. So I'm going to pick, maybe Daniel Bryan might win, but I'm still going with The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, for this strap match. I think this is going to be another match that I'm looking forward to alongside of the Royal Rumble. Okay, so now you guys can probably see that, and I don't know, just try to cut out the noise. But anyway, just to continue, this is the last 3 matches, and I just wanted to include it in the same video for you guys. I just thought it'd be funny just to show it and share it. But I'm back at it again. But just continuing what I was talking about was the Daniel Bryan and Bray Wyatt championship match. So you probably guys will hear some more background noise. I'm about to just keep going. But this strap match, I think this is something that, as I was saying before, is something that I think is going to be one of the best matches of the pay-per-view outside of just the Royal Rumble, because this is the rematch everyone likes to see. The Fiend, and with Daniel Bryan's new look, and with this rematch, he might actually have a chance of winning this match. But I don't think he's probably going to end up winning. I'm going to root for the Fiend as much as Daniel Bryan, as good as he is, and he's one of our favorites on the show for SmackDown. Um, I don't know. Maybe he'll discover a weakness for the Fiend for this match. He might, because the rabbit from the Firefly Funhouse says, "Oh, the Bray Wyatt has or the Fiend has a weakness," and right when he's gonna probably just talk about the Fiend's weakness, Bray Wyatt just decided to shut him up. So I don't know if he's gonna discover it himself in this match, or maybe even if he, I don't even think it would make sense to him for him to have some kind of weakness. But because it seems to be unstoppable. He seems to be unstoppable regardless, even if he's in this he's Bray Wyatt or the Fiend. It doesn't even matter. He was only Bray Wyatt in his first original form, just original Bray Wyatt when he went against the Miz for the. He went against the Miz, but it was a non-title match if you guys notice. But then now he's going to be back as the Fiend, and with this strap match, they're going to be tied together, so they won't be able to. They're going to be really up close and just really going at it. So we'll have to see how it goes out. But I'm sure I think the Fiend is probably going to come out on top. But I just hope that they don't just snatch the title away from the Fiend and just do him dirty like most of these other gimmicks and other superstars that are deserving of just being on top for a while for their title reigns, and then they never get back up there. They'll never get a title shot ever again, and they never become champions anymore. So, and then the same people just end up getting the championship over and over in those same shots, and then it just gets predictable at that point. But let's move on to the women's Royal Rumble matches. We're going to talk about the Royal Rumble matches and to wrap up this predictions video. And I just got anybody can win. I already said this. Anybody can win these Royal Rumble matches, and they hardly even talk about the women's Royal Rumble match. All they talked about was the men's Royal Rumble match. It's like they just didn't want to give them as much attention as, and to be honest, at least from my personal view, from watching the show week after week after week, the women's division is better than the men's, and they have some actual talent now. So it's a lot different than what it used to be now. We have women that are really competitors doing all these stunts and all these different having these great matches and stipulations, and they're really just raising the bar from just ladder matches, all types of matches that you could possibly have. They have the same amount of matches and the same stipulations, almost identical to the men's division now. So that's why I'm really looking forward to seeing who wins this, because this is anybody's ball game as well. So I think for this women's Royal Rumble match, I don't know who's in it. It's probably going to be some NXT stars, but I gotta just say my pick. I'm gonna go with Shayna Baszler for this. I'm gonna pick Shayna Baszler for this because I think she's probably gonna be one of the surprise entrants, and also an NXT star moving on to the main roster. I think she can really win. She's really good and a difficult opponent for these ladies to handle. So I think she's probably gonna end up possibly winning. Not outside of just Shayna Baszler, just to share with you guys, I'm going to go with Charlotte, because Charlotte was the closest from last year, but she was just squandered because Becky Lynch just so happened to be the entrant who recently lost her title and just won the whole Royal Rumble and wasn't even supposed to be in it because she already had a title match. But outside of those two, my last pick, I'm going to go with either Sasha Banks or maybe a surprise pick. One of the two, but I'm just going to probably stick with those three for the Royal Rumble match. So we'll see what happens. If Asuka didn't have a title around her waist, like if she wasn't a tag team champion, I would pick her, but she already won, so I don't know. But sometimes some of the superstars can win over and over. Sometimes they end up winning multiple times. Well, I'm just hoping that doesn't happen for this Royal Rumble for this year, because it's just so unpredictable now at this point. But I'm going to go to the men's Royal Rumble to wrap up. And I think this is going to be the biggest one, and it's so many possibilities. And I would like to see CM Punk in this Royal Rumble, but I don't think he's going to be in it as much as we all probably would like to see him in it. But the funny thing is he picked Keith Lee to win the Royal Rumble, but now he's the North American champion, the new North American champion as of last night's NXT match against Roderick Strong. But my picks for this men's Royal Rumble match, for the men's division, I'm going to go with Drew McIntyre. I just would like to see him win because I think he deserves it. He's underrated. I think a lot of people are sleeping on him, And not just him. I'm just gonna probably just think of some others I would like to see. Maybe a surprise returning superstar. I really don't know who else is probably gonna be a possible contender for this, but I just don't want Roman Reigns to win because he already won. He already had so many shots. It's not somebody. Let's give somebody else a chance at that shot at Spotlight. The Spotlight who never really originally had it and never really gone on to the main event, and not someone that we already know. Nothing against them. But let's get some other people out there, writers. Let's start getting some other people in the spotlight instead of the same talent. When you have all those guys in the back in the locker room that are just capable and have the potential to put on good matches, if you just give them a chance. And we already saw what happened to Kofi Kingston. So now it's time for some other superstars to get that championship, not the same people. I just don't. And something else I gotta mention: this new division with Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins, the AOP, and Buddy Murphy. I hope he doesn't win because he already has. They have the tag team titles now that they snatched off the War Raiders, not the Viking Raiders. Their original name, the War Raiders. That they took off the War Raiders. They won from this past Monday Night Raw. Now I think they might be some of the last few superstars that's going to be the last ones remaining in the match, possibly to help him win. We'll have to see unless somebody gets him eliminated. Maybe Kevin Owens, Samoa Joe, or The Big Show, or somebody else will probably be in the Rumble to eliminate Seth Rollins to make sure he doesn't get to WrestleMania. And I think that'll be the perfect payback towards Seth Rollins to prevent him from going to WrestleMania. But to me, it's going to be something. It's just something that we can really try to see what happens. So at this rate, but anybody with Roman Reigns, Seth Rollins, and just somebody that we already could predict, somebody that we just don't know that's gonna probably go all the way. Now, outside of Drew McIntyre, I gotta go with Aleister Black. So those are gonna be my main two picks for the Royal Rumble for this year, or a surprise entrant, a surprise returning entrant or a superstar maybe from NXT that could possibly win. But I can't think of anybody else that could possibly win it's just off the top of my head that has not already been in the spotlight and has already been a champion before. Aleister Black has not even been defeated yet, so that's what makes me think that he's probably going to have a chance there. So we'll have to see what they do with this match. But as they always end it, it's always going to be the men's Royal Rumble to end the match as the main event. But also not to mention, Brock Lesnar is coming in number one as entrant number one voluntarily to try to just take on this gauntlet. But I think somebody's going to eliminate him. I've seen some rumors about Cain Velasquez probably coming back to eliminate Brock Lesnar, or maybe somebody else that's probably going to eliminate him. But I would not want him to win because he already has a championship. And then what, he's going to hold 2 belts hostage and barely show up on the show and not even defend the titles? I don't think that's right for a champion. He's not even really much of a fighting champion anyway. So they just let him do what he wants because he's Brock Lesnar. But as funny as it is, it's laughable seeing that he's a champion, and just every night that he comes out, Paul Heyman just being on the mic, a legend that he is. It's always funny to listen to him on the mic. But it's time for. I think it's time. This is the perfect opportunity to put someone that we least expect to win the Royal Rumble and to take that title away, either from Lesnar, take that title away from Lesnar. I would say, if whoever it is, I want them to challenge Brock Lesnar, beat him at WrestleMania, and actually defend that title. And then at least whoever it is will be a fighting champion instead of someone like him. But we don't need champions like that. We just need some competitors that are deserving, well deserving, and not just get squandered and just thrown away, and then get their titles snatched from them, from people that we already have seen so much of, I want to say. But I don't know what you guys would say in the comments. I'm curious to see what you guys think of some people that you like to see win. It's up to you. It's completely what your predictions are. Your predictions might be the same as mine. Some of them might be different, and you might have different picks. And maybe you want Brock Lesnar to see if he'll go all the way. But I highly doubt it because he's going from entrant number one, and somebody's going to be going after him and probably is going to, be gunning for him because he's the beast. And so they're probably going to gang up on him and probably eliminate him very early. So yeah, I would be very surprised if he ends up being one of the last remaining competitors for this Rumble. we'll just have to see on Sunday. Thanks for watching. And I know the background noise is probably extremely loud, but I just thought I'd show it just for the laughs and all that. Just I don't know if you guys heard anything, so I just cut it off and just added this separate video in so I can just continue to talk about the predictions and share with you guys before the event comes up this weekend for Sunday. I'm looking forward to it, and whoever wins goes on to WrestleMania to main event. But even if they win, it's just from what I found out and from what I witnessed from watching over the years, they're not guaranteed to win that title.